Hi, buddy. How's school? Hi. We're putting down another row of this plastic mulch and we're laying the drip line underneath. And I'm just going in behind Garrett and putting in some landscape staples onto the drip to make sure it stays straight and in between the guides that are on the top of the mulch. Those are the green lines there. That way, when we come back to burn the holes, we don't burn the drip tape. Garrett's also putting some landscape staples into the mulch itself, and we'll add a lot more later on. It's getting warm. We've made a total mess out here. We had the baby out here earlier playing on her little mat there. You warm?
Yeah, I had to get some water. The heel works the best. All right, we just finished laying out the plastic mulch, and we put the drip tape underneath the plastic mulch. And I don't know if we're gonna burn holes in it today. It's a little bit windy, but I might try. But at the beginning of the year, Marion and I went back and forth on what type of weed protection we were gonna do, and we tried no dig or just going out manually getting the weeds out, and it was a pain in the neck. And for the size of garden we're doing, it was just too much for the two of us. So we went with the plastic mulch, and so far it's been amazing. Hopefully during the summer it keeps the weed pressure down. This stuff is gonna last us 3 to 5 years if we maintain it, maybe pull it up during the winter time. But this is gonna feed us and a lot of different families, a lot more families. So we had no regrets using this plastic. So we're gonna see how it goes this year. Before we decided on using this woven plastic mulch, we talked to a lot of our friends that have nurseries or are commercial growers, and they all recommended this, hands down. We've had crazy winds lately, 50 to 60 mile an hour winds, tornado warnings, and everything's held up pretty good. We planted these tomatoes 2 weeks ago, and they're thriving out here. One of the good things about this mulch here is it is permeable, so it's woven, and water can actually seep down into the bed. We ran drip tape on the top of this one, and the water will actually seep in if you have it on long enough. But our emitters are actually over each one of the holes. But yeah, we really like this.
So we've got, I think these are 6-foot T-posts in, and we've got them spread out about 7 feet apart. And the tomatoes are planted kind of offset. So we've got this first row, and then the second row, the plants end up being in between 2 plants, so that we can use the same string on these T-posts instead of putting up a whole nother trellising system. So this year, I don't think we're gonna do the Florida weave. We're actually just going to do a straight up tie to the string. So we'll probably have 4 or 5 lines of string going down these posts, and then we'll tie the tomatoes to the string. I think that's gonna be the easiest on us. Last year, I felt like the Florida weave was a little bit much to keep up with because you have to do it as the tomatoes grow. This way we can do it all in one shot, and then as we see them grow, we can clip them on or tie them to the strings. And we've got determinate and indeterminate tomatoes in this row. We know our determinate tomatoes are going to get fairly tall, but the indeterminate ones are going to get huge. And so we only planted large tomato varieties in the indeterminate ones, and then our indeterminate cherry tomatoes that get even bigger are going to be in a different area of the garden on their own trellising system. And that's just going to be easiest on us because these tomato plants and the indeterminate tomato plants will end up being about the same size because we'll heavily prune the indeterminates.
drip tape. We've been using it for a few years now, and I will never go back to anything else.
I wanted to come back out and show you guys a few of the variety of tomatoes that we planted out there, and I'm wearing Garrett's garden shoes. He hated these shoes when I first got them for him. I got him these and some Crocs, and he thought they were so ugly, but then when he finally started wearing them, he was like, dude, these are like anti-fatigue mats on your feet. So these plants are plants that we didn't start from seed. We bought these from a friend of ours that has a nursery over at Cedar Creek Plants in Athens. And this one is Cherokee Purple. We've grown that plenty of times, but this is a new one for us. It's called Sun Leaper, and it's really interesting. Let's see if I could find, oh, here's one right here. So look at the top of this one. It has such a weird flower on there. It almost looks like a dandelion, and it's got like double petals. So I'm really interested to see what that one looks like when it matures. So we've got that Sun Leaper, the Cherokee Purple, there's Mountain Pride, and we've grown that one before. Mountain Pride again. This one is Homestead, number 24. We've grown that before, I believe. This one is the Porter Improved. I haven't grown this variety, but I will say I kind of like it because it's really bushy. It's got a really nice leaf structure on there. So I think that one is going to be productive. I just have a feeling. And she said that everyone's been buying those up because it's a good tomato plant. So we'll see. But you can see what it looks like on the tag. Looks like a really pretty tomato. We also have Celebrities, tried and true. We always grow those every year. More Celebrities. And these, I don't think these three are Celebrities. They're kind of struggling. They're just a weird tomato. They're out of all the tomatoes are doing fantastic except for these three. And I'm not sure why. The soil feels fairly moist under there, so it could just be that they're in shock. We've had tons of wind this week, as you can tell from the video. This one is Big Boy. We've grown that plenty of times. It's a great tomato too for just about anything. Cherokee Purple again. This one is Marglobe. I haven't grown this one before, but this is what it looks like. Really nice big tomato. Hopefully that ends up being true for us with these. I can't get that tag back in there, darn it. Well, I'll just stick it in there like that and come back to it. And we've got some Ruger's tomatoes. We've grown those before, I believe. More Celebrity. And last but not least, another Homestead 24. So these we planted in 6-packs, and these are not the cherry tomatoes. These are all just the big indeterminate tomatoes. And then on this other side here is where our peppers have gone. And it's just a huge variety of different kinds of peppers. Some scorpion peppers and ghost peppers for my son because he loves the really hot ones. And then your basic bell peppers, jalapenos, piñata peppers, all that good stuff. And I'll do a video all about peppers here eventually.
Have you seen my Crocs?
No.
What are you wearing?
your garden shoes.
Oh man, I had to wear my house shoes.
Your house slippers. Hi, baby girl. Hi, can you say hi? Hi. Hi.
What you doing? What you doing? You're so funny. You're so funny. I love you. I love you. What you doing? Trying to start a fire? Oh. Okay. Windy out here, isn't it? It's windy. I love it.
All right, so now in these rows, in these first 2 rows, I have red zinnias, and they're the giant zinnias, of course. And then in these 2 rows, I have your basic green beans, bush green beans, not the climbing ones. I do have some climbing ones that I'm going to be, or I should say pole beans, that I'm going to be planting in a different row later. But those are some rare varieties and really cool. I can't wait to share those with you guys. But that's all I've got in so far. In these next few rows, I think there's going to be 4 or 5 more rows in this section. I think we're going to do, what was it? More zinnias, cucumbers, and what else did I say? I can't remember now. Oh, some long beans. Right, yard long beans? We'll see. That'll probably change tomorrow. How did your face get so dirty? You're so dirty, filthy little ragamuffin. Chee-chee-chee-chee. I got your toes. Fallon is about to turn 1 year old next week. Oh, it happened so fast. It went by so quickly. So if you look over here, we've tilled up this area. We're going to till it up one more time. That very edge is where we planted the 200 plus gladiolas. And you can see we've mowed this whole area near the garden, but we haven't mowed over here. And the whole reason we haven't mowed is because we're trying to keep the wildflowers for as long as we can, since they're a source of food for the bees early on in the season before everything else is growing. But once these die back and we end up mowing these, there's going to be lots and lots of cut flowers in this garden for the bees to enjoy.